Hello and welcome to another exciting special episode of Rodney Hash. Today, I've actually only got a limited amount of daylight. I've been getting off work late today. Um, so, we only got one take. I'm sorry if this is a little sloppy, but tomorrow 7:10 as of this recording, and I want to make sure this is out there on 7:10 because some of you may know, or at least I hope you know, and if you're not in the loop, 710 upside down is oil. So, yeah, it's like 420, but for hash or extract enthusiasts, and me myself being Rodney Hash, of course, this is something near and dear to my heart. I celebrate this every year. Uh, I will definitely be celebrating this tomorrow with large amounts of dabs, concentrates, cartridges. I actually thank you to the botanist up in Wycliffe. They had my favorite cultivar, Durban Poison. That as most of you know, I work for Buckeye Relief. I grew this, but I did not process it. The guys in the processing lab are phenomenal, and yeah, this is my favorite. Yeah, seriously. So, um, what are terpenes? Why are they important? That's what I want to get into with you guys today. And I've been doing a lot of research for this, so this is just a real short video. That's why this is the 710 special. I'm only like 2 chapters, almost 3 into this book of cannabis terpene experience, and the first 2 chapters I'm Googling, highlighting, researching, doing all kinds of things. I mean, I'm learning about how there's different treatments for Alzheimer's and dementia using cannabis, using terpenes, specifically engineered cannabis to treat specific diseases. And that's what I want to do. I want to be able to make cannabis into a functional medicine. I think that this is something that almost all of the information's there. Let's get into it. So, what are terpenes? When you open up a jar of weed and you get that first real big whiff, I smell pepper, I smell lemony, I smell piney. Those are terpenes. Terpenes are actually the plant's natural defense system, and they are not exclusive to cannabis. Because plants can't really move, or like they can't be like, fly, what are you doing? Smack! It doesn't work like that. I mean, obviously there's the exceptions of the Venus flytrap, but beyond that, terpenes are one of the main defense systems for cannabis plants and other plants and flowers and just everything in general. In fact, this is a very highly researched field that you guys probably don't realize. It's aromatherapy. It's virtually the same science. It's the same thing. When you think of essential oils, all that essential oils is really is just distillate terpenes. It's like they've extracted and then distilled just terpenes from lilac or lavender or German chamomile, and then they are taking those terpenes, which are actually kind of like not great to put directly onto your skin, so they put them into carrier oils like olive oil or something of that nature, to where you can then put them on your skin and you'll smell them. Mint or lavender or whatever it may be, those are just terpenes. That's all that is. So this is very widely researched. If you believe in aromatherapy, then you believe in the science of cannabis. So there's actually a lot more that goes into this than just that, though, because, well, this is part of the entourage effect, if you haven't already heard that within cannabis. And that's within cannabis you may have THC, let's say within a certain study, let's say within pain studies, you may see people that have like a large amount of THC and then people that have a large amount of CBD, and they may get decent results. However, when you combine the two of them and you have the group that had both THC and CBD, that group generally gets better results than the isolates. Well, that seems to happen a lot with a lot of the lot of factors in cannabis. terpenes, your endocannabinoid system, they intermix, I believe. The part of the reason being that think about when you're hungry and you really want a cheeseburger. Let's say you're not hungry. You don't even want a cheeseburger. At both times, you eat a cheeseburger. I'd bet that cheeseburger is going to taste better to you naturally if you gave yourself a rating, like a 1 to 10 scale. You may rate that burger a 7 when you're hungry. You're like starving. You haven't eaten in like 8 hours and you're like, man, I need to get something in. You're probably going to rate it a 7. Whereas if you're not even hungry, you may rate it a 5. Well, that's based on your experience. The mindset you have going into the experience. Well, cannabis can also help put you into a certain mindset like THC. However, then that leaves you highly susceptible for the aromatherapy aspect of it, which is the terpenes. That's why cannabis and terpenes are so important. That's why, again, like I highly stress to you guys, don't be focused on THC. If it's 35%, it doesn't matter. What matters is the terpenes in it. Yes, you want to have like maybe like 18, 16%, something like that. If it's like 8%, it's like you might have to smoke quite a bit to, especially if you're a chronic user. If you're a new user, that's cool. I'm sorry, that's my car. This is the problems with one take. But my point is, the terpenes are what kind of redirects your high. It's so if you just have just THC as an isolate, you may get a lot of anxiety. However, if you have little along with that, that has a tendency to counteract that high or counteract that anxiety, and it calms you. In fact, that's one of the terpenes that I'd recommend to you specifically for anxiety is linalool. I have numerous times, not only through scientific papers, seen people say that they've rated it, but through anecdotal evidence of patients that I've talked to. Because I know we all kind of sit there quietly at the dispensary like, oh, but I'll talk to people, especially over the last year when we've all had our masks on, we've all been like this. You can still talk to people. You just got to talk a little louder, unfortunately. People really want to have that communication with each other. That's one of the terpenes that I found for anxiety. Same thing with bisabolol. In fact, bisabolol, I'm sure you guys, if you've been watching my videos, which if you're to this point, I highly recommend you give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Again, the 710 special. Ignore that. That's the only reason I really edit any of these videos. Stupid things like that. I'm sorry. But yeah, terpenes are what kind of develop your high in the way you want to go. If you want to have something that's super couch locky, that's where your immersing is. If you don't want something that's going to put you to sleep, don't have anything with CBN or myrcene or things like that. If you really want to understand cannabis from a medical aspect, that is where I highly recommend every single one of you guys watching my videos, and even that aren't subscribed and watching my video this time and you've gotten this far, learn about terpenes. It will only benefit yourself, I promise you guys. Alright, I hope you guys have an amazing 710. Let me know in the comments below what you're smoking on. Let me know what your favorite terpene is. Anything along those lines, guys. I love to hear from you. Peace out. Rodney Hash.